Yeah.
Recording.
Voracek stepping in front of the backhand. He scores! Side of the net, deflected, score! Giroux, he scores! Wayne Simmons, again, pure determination.
Anytime now. Where is he? Where's the voice guy?
Hello?
This might be problematic. This is the second time we haven't had him in.
Now, Andy Robb, Ken Prowl, Philly Hockey Guys.
That was horrendous. I'm sorry. I can't lie about it. That was really bad.
Real disappointed.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the Philly Hockey Guys podcast.
What the hell episode is this? Is this
I don't know.
45?
Some
46?
46. I don't know. But it is part of our 1-year anniversary show.
You can see how well we prepared this for this one.
Yeah. And we're still working with the whole slap shot thing. It's been weird. He's been away every weekend, and when have time during the week, he can't do it during the week, or he can't do it during the weekend, and we're kind of just missing each other. But we were just talking to him just the other day.
Well, you were. I really just think he's forgotten about us. He's got better things to do.
Yeah.
He's on vacation all the time.
I know. He's got a house down at the shore or something.
Slapshot's living the good life.
Hanging out with his lady friend. I can't wait to hear more about that.
Yeah, but we're still working on getting that.
Yeah, so we just, there's been a little bit of Philadelphia Flyers news over the past few days, of course, as we all know. So we figured we may as well just touch on it for a little bit, even though you probably already know what's going on. We've had a few signings, some arbitration being avoided, and it looks like we do have Brayden Schenn back into the fold for another 4 years, it looks like.
4 years at $5.125 million per.
I mean, that's better than $5.5 million what he was asking for.
That drove me nuts over the weekend when I saw that. I mean, he wanted that much per year, and I understand, Flyers were going just over $4 million is what they were looking to kind of settle at. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair market deal if
yeah. I know what you're
he
going to say.
duplicates last season where he had 26 goals, 59 points. So if that's what we're going to get out of him, then yeah, I'm okay with it. Yeah. If it's the Brayden Schenn that played the first half of last year, then we're grossly overpaying.
That Brayden Schenn, Schenn really, I think he had his best season. I think that he really started to flourish under Dave Hextall's system. And call me crazy, but I think that he'll keep adding on to it this year. I mean, I have no reason not to doubt what he can be capable of for the next coming year and coming years.
He's only going to turns 25 in August, so still a young guy. Hextall kind of admits that. He says it's a market deal. Brayden's been a good player. Top six forwards are hard to find, and there's a premium to pay. There's no question we paid a premium for a top six forward who's 24 years old and essentially coming into his prime.
Yeah.
So Hextall is banking on him, duplicating last year and even getting better.
Because I think that he's finally found a role. I mean, it's like Lavi, they used him a little bit and they kind of committed him to places. Berube was just a completely different thing. He was being shuffled around. He was doing wing. He was doing center. They were moving him on every single line. He was on the first, the second, the third. Now I think he's got some kind of steadiness, consistency that Hextall sees exactly what he's capable of as a player, what his skill sets are, and he put it to good use and stuck with it and committed to it, I think.
Yeah, I think what you saw from the Flyers last year, I think you saw a lot of guys get off to very slow starts as they were trying to figure out Hextall's system. And once they got a little bit more comfortable, you saw guys that were, started to flourish, like Brayden Schenn. So
Brayden Schenn's the best example of everybody. But there are other obvious examples as well.
So you just hope that he continues on that. And if that's the case, then it's a really good deal.
It could wind up being a very good deal for the future of the Philadelphia Flyers. So all in all, they avoided arbitration, which is a good thing. So it obviously shows Brayden Schenn wasn't really considering leaving Philadelphia.
Well, I think if it would have went through to arbitration, he gets a 2-year deal out of it. And then, and I think Hextall realized that, and then the Flyers are looking at, probably paying over $6 million, for in the next arbitration period, or he could become an unrestricted free agent. So to get him for 4 years, it's not, an outrageous amount of time. I know you want it, probably didn't want to see more than three. But again, a 4th year is not that big of a deal. And again, at those numbers, at that number, I think it's manageable.
I definitely think it is. I'd love to see the negotiating tactics that they used during they obviously avoided arbitration, but, Hextall would be like, we're going to give you 3 years, $4.4 million. He's going to be like, I want $5.5 million. I mean, okay, exactly how about, I want 4 years and $5.5 million. Okay, what about 5.3? 5.125? Okay, I guess that's good. We made a deal.
Wow. No other podcast is going to bring you right into the negotiations like we just did.
Yeah, we might have violated a few things by having microphones placed in there, probably some kind of federal wiretapping bullshit. But, hey, that's what we do. We fall on that grenade for you, our loyal listeners.
We are freaking heroes.
We really are. We really are. And that's why I think we're nominated for the Reddit Flyers Hall of Fame.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Did you bribe somebody?
Shh. No. But really, on Reddit Flyers, they're doing like the first our Flyers Hall of Fame, and we're on there. And also, we were talking to everyone's favorite closet Penguins fan, 10 Philly fan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
About the 2017 Wells Fargo Center takeover. And the news out of the camp is the Philly hockey guys are going to be there.
We are.
That's right.
We're going to be there?
We're going to be there.
Are we playing?
I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to skate on the same ice that Giroux and Lindros and everyone had played on. Oh, my God. That's it. I could die right after that. I wouldn't care.
All right, now what am I going to do?
Oh, well, maybe you could be like our Lou Nolan.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. You heard how I introduced the show today.
I heard how you attempted to. All right, I'll tell you what. You'd have to use that voice the whole time, no matter what.
That's 5 minutes for fighting for Andy.
You know what that sounds like? Hello.
Hello. Yeah, that's going to get me disinvited, isn't it?
No, of course not. Maybe we'll get barred from the Hall of Fame. All the votes are going to be recounted.
No way I'm voting for these guys.
So again, it looks like that's coming up, I think, in March, and we'll be there again. Special thanks for the invite to Reddit Flyers.
I'm
excited
fantastic. About this.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
Or should I say, I'm excited about this.
I'm like right next to you. You're actually louder than me today. What's going on?
I don't know.
All right. So anyway, back into some hockey news.
Another Flyer avoided arbitration. Brayden Manning
signing I believe that is a 2-year deal.
Yeah, about just under $1 million, $975,000 in average annual value. I believe it's a 2-way deal, so the Flyers may not be stuck with him.
Yeah, they might push him down and. For Provorov. You never know if Provorov winds up making the team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Provorov could, improve on 1 goal and 6 assists last year.
Oh, you mean that's Manning's numbers?
Yes.
Oh, I was like, yeah. Provorov didn't have those numbers.
No.
Where are you getting that
That's
from?
what I'm saying. I don't know how Provorov could improve on those numbers, though.
Oh, he definitely can. I'm pretty sure. But I mean, that's what we're really looking forward to is what's going to happen when training camp comes about. But you know what? We still have a while to go. Before that, it's like 80 days until the season starts.
I mean, I really don't get the Manning signing. I mean, I know it's under $1 million. I just don't I don't know.
He's a decent, lower pairing guy. I mean, he played relatively well in the playoffs. I mean, I don't have a problem with him. Obviously, there's other defensemen I'd like to see play. But
well, see, that's the problem going forward this season. The Flyers are in the same kind of situation they were coming out of camp last year. Too many defensemen on the big club already, so where do you put some prospects? I mean, the Flyers right now have 7 defensemen. Del Zotto comes back from injury. You got Gostisbehere back, Gudas, McDonald, Manning, Schultz, Mark Streit is still on this team. So, I mean, where does that leave a Provorov? Where does that leave a Sanheim?
But I believe the Flyers now are able to do a buyout.
Yes, that is true.
So what could that mean? If it's not going to be one of those defensemen, I could see the Flyers possibly buying out Matt Reed.
I can't believe they can't trade Matt Reed and get something of value in return, even a high-end draft pick of a second or third round.
Well, I mean, like I said, give it time. I mean, there's still 80 days until the regular season starts. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of ground to cover. And like we said, when we talked about that draft episode, for crying out loud, it's almost pointless to speculate about anything that Ron Hextall is going to do because usually we're wrong. Nobody thought that he was going to pick Rubistov in the draft.
We're always wrong. We're only right
we're
about
only 30% of the time. But we're still in the top 3 or the top 43 Flyers podcast.
And that's really all that matters in life. But, yeah, I mean, right now, I'm just looking at this roster right now, and I don't see much of an improvement.
Yeah, no shit, because we got rid of Umberger. There goes the heart and soul of this team. We're done.
I mean, I just where is the improvement on this team that got bounced out in the first round of the playoffs? I mean, I don't even know if this is a playoff team as we stand right now.
It's another fringe team, I think. You know, I still think that they could make the playoffs. By the way, the Hockey News already has predicted that the Flyers won't make the playoffs this year.
Oh, well, we might as well not even play the season.
It's then. July. Well, that's it, guys. We're done. Thanks a lot for tuning in.
We'll see you next year.
We don't know anything, and the Hockey News knows all, so that's it. I just start to just discount all that stuff. I'm like, okay.
Well, it's way too early to start making predictions. I'm just saying as the Flyers are constructed
I know what you're saying.
You know, you really, I think what you have to count on is that Voracek has a bounce-back year and duplicates what he did 2 seasons ago.
He'll be fine.
Giroux gets kind of back into form, and I think that goes hand in hand with Voracek.
He'll be fine. They'll both be fine. Voracek was playing injured throughout the entire playoffs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
yeah. Once he got that foot injury, yeah. I mean, that was and as we learned later on, G was very banged up as well at the end of the season.
As was Gostisbehere.
Yeah. So if those guys come back healthy, and again, I think. The big improvement maybe on the defense if Provorov can make that jump.
Which I think he probably can.
And does he give that kind of energy to the Flyers that Gostisbehere gave this past season?
Again, it's almost like impossible to speculate because it's like you don't know. But I've got faith in what's going to happen. I mean, 80 days away, it's a long way away. But, of course, just how life is, it'll be here before we know it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We'll fart and it'll be like, oh, tonight's the first game of the season.
It's opening night.
Like, really?
So the Flyers have now just a little over $1 million in cap space, according to generalfanager.com.
Okay. You buy out a contract, you'll get at least another 5 or 6 added back.
Or if you're somehow able to move somebody.
That as well, if you're able to move somebody, sure.
Which would be good.
What if you could do a buyout and move somebody? That would be even better.
That would be. I mean, not that there's any – I mean, we talked about this early on.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can fault Hextall for not going big into free agency. I don't really think there was any
really
difference
nothing
makers.
Attractive.
Yeah.
There was nothing that was like Landeskog or – some other players that, pretty well-touted NHL talents, but it's like you're going to probably wind up overpaying for any of those. And I don't think any of those were really completely worth the price. Unless, of course, if you're Taylor Hall, then you can get traded for next to nothing to the Devils.
I think that's one of those trades that, does have Flyer fans kind of scratching their head like, really, we couldn't put together a better package to get a guy like Hall. That would have been nice to get. I'll throw a name out, and he's been rumored to the Flyers for, years. Evander Kane, who's, obviously facing some trouble up in Buffalo.
People just named Kane should just stay out of Buffalo.
Seriously. But is he a guy you would have any interest in?
No.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Maybe a couple years ago.
That's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane!
We haven't used that soundbite in a while.
No.
It's the last time we used it was when Patrick
Kane
Kane got in trouble.
In Buffalo.
That's true.
Just stay out of Buffalo. If you're named Kane, stay out of Buffalo.
Even if you're the wrestler Kane, stay out of it.
I think the Flyers make a run at Vesey, the highly touted college player who's kind of his rights were traded to Buffalo.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Because, that kind of just really dropped off. They were talking about that for a while, and then his name just kind of just whoosh,
Well, I guess
disappeared.
they have until the middle of August to kind of make that deal.
I wasn't entirely sure as to when there was maybe some kind of deadline for that.
I don't know how much of an improvement he would make if he could even jump into the top 6 on the Flyers.
I'd like to see Konechny have a chance to make the team this year out of camp.
You look at
what are your thoughts on that?
You just look at right now. The Flyers have 14 forwards on the squad, so you would have to get rid of either send down maybe a Lawton or a Cousins or
Van de Velde.
Somebody like that.
Reed.
And Hextall's been, he's all about this. I'd rather leave a guy in the minors too long than bring him up too early. So I think it's a long shot that Konechny makes this team out of camp. Mm-hmm. We may see him later on during the season, unless he has an outstanding preseason and an outstanding camp. Then my hope is yes, we get to see him, but that's being kind of selfish because I want to see him up with the big club.
Yeah, because it is. It's very tough, especially when you're a Philadelphia sports fan. One of the words that doesn't come to your mind is patience at all. In any instance.
And that's the biggest problem being a Philadelphia sports fan right now. All 4 teams are asking at the same time for patience. The Phillies are going through a rebuild. They got the trade deadline coming up in a couple days.
The Eagles are just the Eagles?
Well, the Eagles, hey, we got Sam Bradford, and don't worry about the guy who was picked number 2 overall because you won't see him this year.
Yeah.
And then you got the Sixers, and they've been rebuilding since, since Reagan was president, I think. So I don't know.
No, they've been rebuilding ever since they traded Barkley and Malone.
That's it, So yeah, I don't know. It's really tough to be a Philadelphia sports fan right now. Now the good news is, in a couple years, hopefully all this patience pays off, and you got teams contending for championships, which would be very nice. But again, it makes the next couple years extremely difficult.
Yeah, one thing at a time. Like we said, it's tough to be patient, but you know what? I got to tell you, I do respect the hell that he's really sticking with it. Hextall, that he's really sticking with this and staying the course, and that definitely deserves mentioning. It deserves all the credit in the world because anyone can be like, "Oh, I'm going to do this," but then they don't. But Hextall is really sticking to it. He's a man that understands commitment.
Again, I don't know what more he could have done this offseason.
No, he's done
to improve the team.
Yeah, I think the moves that he's done for right now with the Manning thing and that pretty attractive Schenn contract, I think he's done pretty well so far, and avoiding arbitration both times. So
our
that
bottom
says something
6
too.
And the Phantoms, they're stacked.
Yeah, it's like you said on the last show. If we can't win a Stanley Cup, we may as well win a Calder Cup.
Might as well.
Hey, why not?
And back to Konechny. That's the bad thing about Konechny is that if he doesn't make the Flyers, he has to go back down to the WHL. He can't even go back down to the Phantoms because of the crazy rules.
Yeah, he'll go back there and just rip it up.
So he has to go back to juniors.
Hey, that's fine though.
But does a guy grow? That's the only thing.
Sure.
What's the motivation?
Absolutely. You can get better at anything by playing anybody of any skill size. It's like when you play Mortal Kombat against an 8-year-old cousin. They're just mashing buttons, but sometimes they'll wind up kicking your ass. It's like I play Street Fighter with my girlfriend sometimes, and she beats me. I'm like, how the hell? How does this happen? But you can get matched up with people of different skill sets and take something away from it. You can learn. So
see, I have the opposite. I think it's like Kramer when he joined the karate class and he was beating up all the kids. That's basically what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, but they're all at the same skill level. The only show where it's just rife with Seinfeld references all the time.
So I guess that does it for this show.
Yeah, this is kind of just a little one because, it's been a while. It's been about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's just a really quiet time of year. There's just nothing going on.
Yeah, it's quiet, and Philly's just a madhouse right now because of the Democratic National Convention?
Yeah, why were we not invited?
Why were we not invited?
We're Philadelphia heroes, aren't we? Didn't we establish that earlier?
That's true.
We should be introducing Hillary.
Yeah, do you know who we are? What was up with that stone-cold Steve Austin glass breaking shit she did. That was weird.
It was very weird. And then there was like 30 to 45 seconds of her just smiling awkwardly before she spoke. It was just, nah.
We are in trouble. No matter how you look at it.
This is why we didn't get invited.
We're in trouble. Well, hey, the next show, I'm pretty sure will be a Slapshot interview. We're going to continue speaking with him, I believe, this weekend. He's going to try to take some time out of his vacation.
Fingers are crossed.
To give us a call and, chat with us a little bit in the studio. And like we said, it's taken a little bit of time, but this is actually going to be pretty much a full-length episode. We're going to dedicate an entire show to this interview. So
yeah, we'll get some good stories out of it. And, I can't wait for
I'm going to ask him if he's playing Pokemon Go. Oh my God.
Dressed up as Slapshot.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I'm not going to knock, Pokemon or people going out and getting exercise, but, there's times a day where you don't do that.
My daughter goes, "Hey, Dad, do you have Pokemon Go on your phone?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Well, you have to get it." I'm like, "No." She's like, "But you have to." No. Do I have it on my phone? No.
Good for you.
Yep.
I had it. And just to see what it was like.
Sure, just to see.
There is, I guess it's like a gym where you fight. It's right across the street from my house in a park, and I was outside 10:30 at night. Some one hapless, shifty dude walking in this dark neighborhood in the park, and I'm like, he's walking towards me. I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? And then I turn and he disappears, and I'm like, what's going on? The guy is sitting under the tree in pitch black playing Pokemon. 10:30 at night in a park.
Did you start yelling at him? "Hey, get off my lawn!"
No, but I was getting a little freaked out. I was like,
well, yeah.
Because my girlfriend was leaving. I was like, lock your doors. Drive.
Good luck getting home. I'll be inside.
I just took
That's
off.
you.
Those Pokemon players scare me. They definitely scare me, but not as much as Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Woo! And I'm proud to be an American.
Oh, hey,
Canada, make room for us. Winnipeg. We're going to bring the show up there.
There we go. We do have a nice little following in Winnipeg.
We're going to move up to Canada, I think.
That sounds pretty good. Hey, follow us. Speaking of following us, follow us on Twitter at Philly Hockey Guy, on Facebook, Philly Hockey Guys Podcast, iTunes. I think we're up to 10 reviews now.
Yeah.
And they're all good.
And you can also interact with us on Reddit Flyers as well. We're hanging out on there.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to vote for us for the Reddit Flyers Hall of Fame.
Oh, that would be nice to introduce the show as Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. So please vote for us.
And then we'll do something and get our Hall of Fame induction revoked like Hulk Hogan. But minus the race shit.
All right, for Andy and Rob.
I'm in rare form today, dude.
I'm Ken Pro. We are the Philly Hockey Guys. Thanks so much for listening. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon with our buddy Slapshot.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like the Philly Hockey Guys podcast page on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Philly Hockey Guy. And subscribe on iTunes, TuneIn, and SoundCloud.